Okay, and let me take you to the handout also. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to share this handout, but see, this is a, just 1 second. Yeah, I've got the chat window right. So E4, E5, NF3, NC6, right? Let us go to the board and just see if that is best. Very, very common set of openings. A large set of openings start this way, classical openings. NF3, NC6, right? Now, white plays bishop C4, starting. If he goes to bishop B5, then it leads to Rui Lopez. It's also opening very popular now, but earlier the bishop C4 direct attack against the black was very, very popular. So in that, now let us look at it from the black side. Okay, what are the two main moves for black? Is bishop C5. This leads to proper Italian game, where white generally wants to play either C3, so that he wants to play D4 next, or he can play B4, which is Ivan's gambit. Okay, I have not yet taught Ivan's gambit, but probably I will tell. But this is the kind of things where, and black cannot really hope to attack unless white makes a major mistake. Okay, in this. So, and it is a symmetrical, almost symmetrical position of the bishops. And while white has got a, because he's making the first move, it is, he has got a advantage of initiative and pressing the attack. That's what happens in Italian game. So the other main continuation, which is asymmetric and leads to a lot of interesting games, is the two knights defense called as knight f6. Okay? So this is the, from the black side you look at it, it is called as two knights defense. Okay, because both knights are brought out, and later on the other stuff will be brought out. Now this is a class of, there is a many variations in two knights defense, and they say that it is almost inexhaustible. Like, this is a very good defense for black. It also gives him, while it is a defense, but it gives it good counter attacking chances. Okay, and that's why it is important that all of us know this opening quite well, because it happens, and all the tactics and various things that happen in this game. So let us explore this. The first variation is the knight g5 variation, but actually I will tell you the, I think all of you probably know the fried liver attack. So let us look at the white's obvious attack first, and then let us come back to how black can defend it. Okay, so obviously what is the most natural move for attack for white? Knight to g5, right? Pressing on the f7 square. Okay, now there is, in this position there is only one move left, and I think all of you now play it in our arenas, but there is no other move apart from to prevent it, right? So the only move that is left is d5, blocking it, and then white will,
So,
yeah.
one time when you had used a tactic against me, sir, when you were white and you had done this, sir, I'd blocked it with the pawn, but then, sir, you had still captured the pawn on f7.
So that's what I'm telling. So first let us look at it. So what happens is white will take this pawn, okay, and the right defensive for, I mean the proper defensive move for black is to now counter attack. Now the temporarily the bishop is blocked now by its own pawn. Now attack the bishop. Okay, that is the proper two knights defense against this. Okay, but what if you take back the with the knight? This is also a variation, but it leads to something called as fried liver attack, which is a speculative attack, but it many times, most of the time, it works. Okay, so technically, if two grandmasters are playing, it may not work because they know exactly how to defend and what is the best way. But most of us are relatively better in attacking than in defending. So what the standard attack here leads to a sacrifice of the knight for the f7 pawn. King takes it. Queen comes up here. F3 check. See, it's a double attack against this king as well as the knight. Now, sometimes I think some of you have also done this, and you have simply gone back. In which case, white recaptures the piece, and he is one pawn ahead. Plus, king is in a bad shape because he is not castled and cannot castle anymore. So this actually,
Sir,
yeah,
so when you play knight to g5 and
yeah.
black plays d5, the trap works best when you already have a knight on c3.
No, that's not a trap. So this is not a trap. So if you are locking to legal mate, etc., that is not here. So here it is. You don't have time to get to knight c2. So you have to decide. So if
Uh,
you simply come back with the knight from g5, then again black will get advantage because then you have wasted two moves. So here knight to g5 here. Now there are only two things. If the knight takes it, sorry, knight a5 is a different move. But if knight takes it, then actually it is quite okay to sacrifice it. Okay, because what happens is if king goes back, then anyway you have got an advantage. If king does not go back, king comes up here to defend the knight, right? Because there are two attackers now, queen and king are defending. So then this leads to a very complicated thing where there are a lot of ways for black to go wrong and white to attack. See, white is attacking a third time now. Now there are only two ways that black can defend: either knight to b4 or to knight to e7. Now both these moves give white attacking chances. It is not that white is winning. In fact, if you ask the computer, it will say black is better because white has sacrificed. But it is very difficult to play, okay, with this way when you are playing because you are under a lot of tension. King is in the center, etc. And both things have got their own thing. So if knight comes to b4, now it is threatening. So it is defending this knight at the same time. It is threatening a check here. So most of the time, white will play queen e4, covering the c2 square, and then black will start, right? So then that again, what will black do? I think he will have to. Uh, what will black do?
So C6.
C6 he will have to play. But then if you play sorry, a3, then the knight will have to go back here, right? And then maybe after that it will come to c7. That is the best that it can do. So this is a way of line of attack. Uh, White has to press and finish the game. Otherwise, if it goes to the end game, then white is going to lose it because black has got one extra piece in return for one pawn, right? So but it is difficult to defend it in the thing because white will play d4, for example. Then I don't know, black will have to play something like not bishop to d6. He cannot play, but things like this happen. So you can look at it. There's a lot of attacking games. You will find it in both ways, and there are some good defensive games also where black has managed to defend. But this is the theory behind the fried liver attack. Okay. Now let us go back. So this is the variation B in my handout that I'm going to share it, which is the fried liver attack. Knight d5, knight takes d5, then knight takes f7, king takes f7, queen f3. Okay. So for example, the line that is given is king e6, knight c3, knight b4, queen e4, c6, a3, knight a6, d4, knight c7. Yeah, here what they have given, the knight d4, knight to c7. Uh, and knight to e7, and then white will not immediately take it. uh, White can even take this, right? What happens if we take this? We'll have to explore. There are a lot of attacking these ones are there. Yeah, what will happen? I think there is some error in that. I will have to see. So but followed by bishop comes to f4, and then white will castle on the queen side and he will press. That's the theory behind the fried liver attack. So let's go back to the position. Let me
But why is it called fried liver?
there is, I think if you Google it, they will tell it. So it is like giving the same thing as if it is a this. Okay, my spelling is wrong here. It should be liver, but it feels as if your liver is getting fried when you are playing from the black side, because the white is always attacking so much that you feel as if your liver is getting fried. That's what Google says, and there is an
Wow.
Italian name for it called, I think, fagatello or something. I think in Italian it means that only, that it is the fried liver of a chicken. I think something like that it means. So that is the thing. So it is interesting because it is an imbalanced position, and but I think you have to play it a few games to get a feel of it. But now that we know this fried liver attack, then let us come back and see what is the other way that black can try to defend it. Because it cannot be that this is a forced line and then he always has to defend a very sacrifice, right? So instead, now let us look at what happens. The modern theory is that knight will come to a5. Now black is losing some moves. First of all, he has given some pawn up, but he's going to get back initiative. That is what it is. But the knight becomes out edge of the board. Now, what is the best way that what white will do? White has tried several things. One is obviously the check here, in which case you have to play the pawn up. White will take it. Black will not take it with the knight, but will take it with the b pawn. Okay, it looks a bit odd, but that is the best way to throw back, because if you take it with the knight, then white will be very happy because his bishop is in very good attacking position, pinning the knight, and then further moves he can make it. So that is the variation, say. So instead, black takes it back with the pawn. See, now there is some other way game is happening, but the attack on f7 has fizzled out. Okay. Now where will the bishop go? Wherever the bishop goes now, next move, he can come to e2 or he can come to a4 typically, right? So let us say even if he comes to a2, now black will start counter attacking. Okay, h6, throw back the knight. Now where will it go? It has to go here. If it goes here, then push e4. Okay, where will it go? Knight e5. Then play bishop to d6. Okay, now white might want to not move the knight anymore, but support it, right? So you got the idea. Now black is better developed. Black has got 3 pieces out. White has got 2 pieces out, and black has given up a pawn, but in return for that, it has got a good development.
Sir, but white will lose castling.
Who can? Sorry, who can do castling?
No, white will lose castling if bishop takes the knight.
Yeah, that's the thing. But he has got 1 pawn extra, right? So that is what is the compensation. So for example, if black takes it, no, why will white lose castling? Need not.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see the
Bishop is also there. Yeah. So anyway, so it is a balanced game. Okay, but essentially what happens is the character of the game is changed now. Now white is no longer attacking, right? In fact, it is black who is slightly pushing back. Okay, because he has managed to get it in return for a pawn. This is the trade-off, typical trade-offs involved, right, in chess. So you give up something and you get something back in return. So you give up material mostly to get lead in development and chances of attack. Okay, now if you sacrifice something and after that you are not attacking, then it is basically a loss, right? I mean, you have given up something and you don't have got anything in return. It's a pure loss. So normally you give up something in return for something. So here black is ready to accept a pawn deficit in return for activity of his pieces and chances to attack, right? Okay, let us look at what happens here if bishop does not go to, okay, sorry, bishop goes to e2, h6. Yeah, we saw this, right? Yeah, we saw this. Even if the bishop does not go to, then also same thing happens. Even if bishop a4, black will start pushing back. See, now there is no point in sacrificing the knight, by the way, yeah? Because see, where is the bishop, white bishop? It is not on the c4 square. Okay, it is not able to attack along the f7 diagonal. So there is absolutely no point in attacking. This is a blunder now, if you do it. Earlier, because the bishop was also there, then there was a point in doing that sacrifice, because queen would also come up, the knight would be pinned, etc. But now there is nothing. You have to go back. So if you play h6, you can go back to either h3 or to f3. Sometimes white is ready to go to h3, but then black has got a chance to exchange and double isolated rook pawn double. Okay, so isolated pawn, double pawn on the rook file. They are like very weak. Or you go to f3, then you allow e4 to be played. Then again you will have to move it. Again, black develops the pieces with attack right here. So it happens like this. Okay, so this is the this is the how black can defend against the knight to g5 variation, where white is otherwise attacking a lot, right? So if you don't know how to defend it, then you will always be forced to defend against that knight f7, king f7 kind of a sacrifice. But if you learn this well, then you will be able to come out of it. Okay, fine. So now let us look at what are the other variations. There are white may not always want to go to knight to g5. Okay, because it's a very direct way of attacking, and many times it does not work against experienced players because they know the antidote. It is like they know it's corona, but then they know what are the vaccines work against it. So they are not afraid of corona. So that way, if you have the vaccine. So similarly, see, this way of directly attacking doesn't work knight to g5. But you have to know, because it's not that it doesn't work. You have to play a lot of games, hundreds of games you have to play it, and then you realize what are the strong points, what are the weak points, and then after that, so at a grandmaster level or an international master level, they will not play knight to g5. Instead, the move that is played is d4. Okay, they want to open up the game but not yet jump out. And if you follow the opening principles, d4 is an excellent move, right? Because it is opening, getting it to the center, plus allowing this bishop also to come out, etc. So that is the third variation, I think, in my handout, d4 variation. Yeah, here what happens is black in most cases takes the pawn. Okay, in this case, takes the pawn because it knows that white cannot take back with another pawn and bring it to the center, right? So white takes it. Now in this position, you don't normally take knight to d4 because this pawn is anyway falling, right? So you don't want to fall it. Instead, what white does is white gives up a pawn and ready to attack. So he castles, and now his rook can come to e1. So he will allow this knight also to be second pawn also to be taken. But after that, he will bring his rook down and he will get more attack. One pawn he will definitely get back because this pawn is getting it. He may be able to get a second pawn, or in return, otherwise he will get a tremendous attack. Okay, so this is what white can play. So let us look at the d4 variation. Yeah, knight to e4, knight to e4, and then what happened? Rook to e1, d5. This is the thing. So obviously, when rook is thing, then black will play d5, right? Because he wants to protect the knight at the same time open up this bishop. So d5 is the right move, and then d5, bishop takes d5, queen takes. This leads to first bishop takes this pawn. It's a pseudo sacrifice. Again, you will see it. Why it is not a already white has sacrificed two pawns. Uh, he's getting back one back pawn, but is he giving up a bishop? Is he giving up a bishop? No, the answer is no. There is a knight c3, which is a brilliant move, but means it is in the theory. Now black cannot take back the knight because the queen is hanging, right? So queen is attacked. So queen will have to go somewhere, and then by the time knight will take this knight, okay, and plus then it will be having a discovered check threats. So that is what it returns. So queen d5, knight c3, then a line, a popular line that is given is queen goes to h5, then knight goes to e4. Let's look at it. Queen h5, knight takes e4, and then bishop comes up because he wants to block the diagonal. Sorry, not the diagonal, open file, because otherwise there is a discovered check coming. So he wants to block it and then castle on the queen side, right? Because white is more stronger on the e file, so king wants to go out and decide castling will take time. So instead, bishop e6 followed by king goes to castling queen side is good because this rook will come behind the d pawn of black, which black wants to further support, not want to lose it. So that is how the game continues. queen takes d5, knight e4, bishop e6, bishop g5, bishop b4. Yeah, bishop. Now white does not want to allow black to castle so easily, so he plays bishop g5. Okay, and then I mean the opening theory says that black should also attack the counter attack the rook here before providing some cover here, because otherwise you lose time and then do it. Bishop g5, bishop b4, then uh, sorry, what is it? Bishop b4
Sir,
or
how about f6? Instead of bishop to b4.
okay. So f6 is a very popular. Matlab, what comes to your mind immediately? So not here. Where was that?
With f6, you get forked. If queen h5, you get forked.
Not okay. d4 and e d4. Then castle, knight e4, rook e1, d5, bishop d5, queen d5, knight c3, queen goes here, knight to e4, bishop e6, bishop g5. Yeah, at bishop g5 you can play f6. What happens is
Bishop will take and you're gonna get
now
forked.
bishop will come back probably to f4.
Why can't bishop take?
Bishop can take it, right? Yeah, bishop can take it.
Yeah.
Can you see this? Beautiful, yeah.
If
Because if
pawn
the 4,
takes, you get forked.
yeah, you get 4. So you cannot play f6. White is getting back his second pawn now with attack, and black king cannot castle on the queen side. And if you try to put bishop e7, then g7 pawn will fall, right? So this is the reason why black does not play bishop to thing, but he comes instead to bishop to b4, counter attacking. And then there is a line which says that knight will take this instead. Okay, so and allow you to take it.
Then the black
So
Black's queen is hanging.
No, white's queen. So white has discovered the thing, and now black's queen is hanging, but black queen can exchange it here.
Yeah.
White will be very happy to bring his second rook here.
Sir,
But
don't you
Then the
think
black
takes
bishop
pawn?
will kill.
Take.
E
The
takes
e
Yeah,
rook should
rook
take.
takes queen take. Sorry, you lose this here, but you get compensation. That's the line. That's what the experience shows. He will be able to, for example, he will be able to take this, make an isolated double pawn, and then take it here. Okay, now technically black is up on material, but king is kind of stuck a little bit in the center, and white is so there are ways. Let us look at it. There may be other ways also. So let me see what I have shown. Knight crosses d4, queen crosses d1. Okay, rook. Okay. Okay, another move that is also possible. Knight takes d4. If queen takes d1, then this rook can also take back and then come out of the attack of the bishop in one shot, and at the same time defend this other knight. So this is also a way of playing, right? So white will still get some attack, but he has not so much attack. But now black can castle on the king side, not on the queen side, but on the king side, right? And material is equal now because white has got back the 2 points. So there are games like this. So possibilities like this. Then finally, let me see how much time we have. So, okay, we have. So finally, there is a Max Lange attack. I will send you some videos against this one also, but it is important to know this because this Max Lange attack is a very popular way of playing in the 19th century. Okay, now that everybody knows about all the attacks and all the defenses, but you probably may not know, but all the masters know. So that's why they don't play it anymore too much. But still, it is a very rich source of opening ideas and this one. So you should play. You should play through the older games. You should get a lot of these ideas. Hundreds of games are available. Good games, good attacking games and defensive games in Max Lange attack. So how does the Max Lange attack work? It is almost similar, but there is a slight difference in black's move. E4, E5, NF3, NC6, BC4, NF6. These are the 2 knights defense. D4, ED4, castle. Okay. So we'll go back to here. Castle. And now instead of black taking back with the knight, So not taking back, taking the pawn. If black develops his bishop, this leads to Max Lange attack. Then what we'll do is white will push this pawn, e5. Okay, and that is what leads to the Max Lange attack. Bishop c5, e5, and any lame defense will not work for it. Black has to play d5 now, because otherwise he will get really chopped down against the attack. So d5, then you have a line which is both pawns take each other, pawn piece, and like this also is there. Or there are lines which go ef6, dc4, rook e1. See, ef6, dc4, both of them. Then rook e1 is very important in between. And then bishop e6, if you play, then knight will go to ring. Yeah, rook e1, bishop e6. See, white can play f takes g7, rook g8, bg5, etc. But bishop e6, black can play knight g5. Bishop e6, knight g5. Knight to g5. Okay. So this leads to some complicated attacks. White is still attacking and black has to play very carefully. I will send you some links on YouTube which expound how to play this and what are the ideas for both white and what are the ideas for black. What you will find it is you have to go through it, you have to play it a lot of times so that you get a feel of it. But after you have played a lot, then you will know exactly which are the right ideas of attack and defense. And then after that, you will graduate over it. Then you'll start playing other openings because you know what is to be done here from both sides. Okay, but till that point of time, it is very amusing, interesting, as well as learning experience to play the Max Lange attack. Okay. Fine. So I think so that is what is the overview of the two knights defense, the complicated defense. You obviously cannot teach it in one class. In fact, you cannot teach it in 1 year also. But you have to, if you are interested, you have to keep following it and look at ideas, watch some good videos, practice some games, play it in your arenas, and then get the feel of it. That is the way. Okay. So yeah, so that is pretty much it. Now, what in the next week, what I will do is I have selected some 12 tactics from the tactical positions from the uh, from from the two knights defense. So we will go over it and we will see it. We'll not go over it today, I think, because right now we will not have much time. But let us look at it one position, for example. Let us look at this position. Let us see to get a feel of it, how black can get a good counter attack. Okay. Let me put this position on the board so that we will have it. What has happened? Nine. How the pawn is not there on this one. Let me see how this position would have come along. It is from the it is not from this one. It is from the Max Lange attack. Only I think. Not knight takes d4. Castle. Bishop c5. Bishop c5. e5. d5. Okay. e5 d5.
Sir, you can take en passant.
Knight f6. Yeah, you can play it, but I think it is not played here. Let me see this position. Okay. I think what has happened here is e5 d5. I think this has happened. Now knight has come here, and white takes this, and then yeah, black castles. White takes this. Yeah, in this position, white says, "Oh, I am getting one more pawn back. So let me take this pawn."
So wait, can you go a few moves behind?
Okay.
Like before the castle. So before the castle. Sir, now once knight captured the pawn,
Yeah.
so why doesn't a black? Oh, okay, sir. So I thought if you why couldn't the bishop capture the knight? But then I realized that the bishop is
Yeah.
like
Correct.
pinning the knight.
Yeah. So here he castles it, and then now black is threatening the d4 pawn, and not d4 knight, because it is attacking double. So white takes it and thinks that he's going to get one more pawn with attack on the queen. So that is what white thinks. But actually, white. Wait. Something is gone wrong here. White has not castled here. Oh, bishop e3. Sorry. This entire line is he takes d4. No, I see. I was just trying to get it from the position. It is not this one. So here he plays. Yeah, this is also a very high d5. Then white goes here, and then knight e4. Sorry.
So why can't white capture the knight with the pawn?
Yeah, white does capture it with the pawn. White does capture it. Black comes up here, attacking it, and white goes bishop to e3. Okay, this is the position. So in the tactical, and white takes this. Sorry. Yeah, bishop e3, black castles. Then white takes this knight. Black takes it, and now in this position, what white thought. I will just show you one tactic, okay, and other 11 tactics we'll see it next week. What white thought is that I'm attacking the queen, plus I'm going to get one more piece back because this bishop is attacking this bishop. Queen cannot come here and defend it. What will black do? So white was pretty clever here. Only thing is that black was more clever. So can you see what happens? What did black play after this?
Queen to h4.
Queen to h4, but then black bishop will fall on c5. And that bishop is again protecting the f2 square. Right?
Sir, if queen to h4, bishop takes bishop, queen takes f7 is mate.
How?
Oh, no, it's
How?
Oh, it's not mate. The
You
bishop
sacrifice
protects the
queen f7, and this bishop comes back and takes it and says, "Thank you very much."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Anshloka just made a
Be
stupid
careful,
move.
be
It's checkmate. Newsflash: the bishop will kill you.
So
So can't queen play to e8?
queen can play to e8, but then this bishop takes this and attacks the rook. So even if you take back my knight, I will take the rook and I will be better off. Right? So
Bishop takes bishop.
bishop takes bishop, but then white will take the queen.
Then you take on f7 with the knight.
Okay, and then
Not with the knight, with the bishop. Bishop takes f2 check. Now,
now king
it's
to
mate
e2 and then
so there is no
bishop
mate.
to g4.
Wait. There is no mate in 2, first of all. See, mate in 2 means against any defense, there should be mate. Then only you create a mate in 2. So it is not the case. So if king goes here, then it is going to become mate. Okay. Why? Because this bishop will come here and give a check. Now you will have to sacrifice a lot of material, but after that, finally, you will not be able to prevent the checkmate. So this will become a checkmate. So if king comes to f8, then it
Sir,
will.
instead of queen going to d3, what if queen goes to e2?
Okay, fine. Yeah, that is better. In fact, here itself is better. So it is still not a checkmate, but white is losing his queen back and then is losing this knight, and still the attack of black is much better than the development of black is better, and the attack is also better, right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
King
1,
can go
2,
to
3.
f3.
In fact, black is also one piece up. Yeah, go to it. That's okay. That's okay. Black is already one piece up, right? In fact, why would do I would rather do this, returning this as well as this pawn, and this pawn is also going to fall, right? So black is way much better here, right? So what do we do? So even this, so you cannot come to f8. The only other option is king goes to g4. King goes to g4, then also you e2, then also bishop to g4, check. So
Chess tournament until 12.
king has to go to
I might